This is going to be a part two. My mama called me because I was telling her about it. And she said she just read an article where the article states that she wasn't pregnant, but the officer actually lived in the complex. So, as I stated in the previous video, it looked like they had some rapport. Because as it was being shown in the video, he never, she was just like, leave me alone. I'm going home. You're harassing me. Stop bothering me. I never heard him say, we got warrants out for you. And, I know when when they serve warrants, they send out police. They send out a team that serves warrants. He's just out there because he actually lives out there. So it's like, again, it's like, it's a lot more to this. And then perhaps they had some type of, affair going on. Maybe she was, tricking, and he possibly was one of her tricks. Because it almost seemed like when she said she was pregnant, that's when shit went left. So, I didn't know he lived out in that apartment complex with her. And the way that place looked, why the F is a police officer living in that type of place? And you are 11-year veteran? I may have to go ahead and verify that. My mom is a great reader, and I'm not disputing anything that she's saying, but I'm not disputing anything she's saying, but I just want to read it for myself. And if it says that, then that opens up a whole nother corridor. That's a whole nother situation. Oh my God. And then what's up with this Natasha Tynes or whatever her name is? The woman from the Jordanian woman who's harassing a black woman eating her meal on the job. That story kind of took me out of my funk, because not only did her union stick up for her and said she had a right to do what she was doing, she had permission to do so. The publishing company that was going to distribute her book, and they pulled out of it, and they made a statement to state that they're, when you put somebody's life and job in jeopardy, they don't want to have any dealings with a person like that. And they also stated that black women are constantly being, and I'm just gonna say, harassed in our bodies and our hair, and is being broadcasted like where something is wrong with us. And that really, it almost it didn't counteract what happened to Miss Turner, but it softened the blow for me, because a publishing company to come out and make a statement like that's rare. But, and then also too, I'm glad that the worker didn't get all emotional or get upset. She just told the lady to worry about yourself, and that's what we should be doing. And also not worrying about each other, but also taking into consideration that you don't know the laws. You don't know what has been changed. You don't know what directives she has been given by her higher ups. You don't know, or you didn't know if she had a disorder that required her to have a meal, if she had low blood, if she was diabetic, or whatever the case may be. You didn't know. So for you to even make it a public thing on your platform, where this lady, was being harassed and stuff, it doesn't make any sense to do that. Go about your day. You're sitting there, and you got a book that's coming out. It's going to be distributed or distributed, and you're harassing a collar collared worker, a blue collared worker, who her only job is every day is to commute the thousands or hundreds of thousands of people who come through Washington, D.C. to their next destination. And you want to make her seem like she's doing something so vicious that you had to contact her job, you had to put her picture on Twitter and make these statements like she was doing something wrong. And that's what I'm saying. It's getting to the point, we as black people, we can't eat, we can't barbecue, we can't do anything without it being scrutinized, or you can't fall asleep in your study hall without somebody calling the police on you because they don't feel like you belong there. Or you can't take pictures in a public park with your 1-year-old child because some bitch of a white woman wants to come up and kick the balloons and scare your child. For what? What do you white people want from us as black people? And black people, what do you want from yourselves? What do we want from each other? Because I don't see us coming together. It's too much. You're in the conscious community. You're a Hebrew Israelite. You're a Christian. You're a Muslim. You're this. You're that. We leave out the fact that we're all people of color. Those titles mean nothing. Because do you think that a Seventh-day Adventist who is white and a Presbyterian who is white, when it's time for them to come together, they're going to say, well, I don't mess with you because you go to this church, and I don't mess with you because you go to that church, and you don't do this, and you don't know. It's about coming together. What is it about us that is so different? We all suffer the same things, whether you're upper echelon, if you're rich, middle class, working poor, working homeless. We're all the same. But in my opinion, I don't see us coming together. I don't see us being bonded or bonding with each other. I wanted to go ahead and do just a day where just National Black People Hug Day. And we just hug each other, shake each other's hand, and just say, how you doing? Can I buy you a meal if you can do so? Is there something I can do for you to another black person. But I guess not. But it starts with the family. And I always wanted a family of my own. I always wanted a family of my own. And I said a prayer when I was a young child, and apparently it was answered. Because I had a pretty hard upbringing, like most of us did. And I said, God, if my child or my children have to go through 1%, I gave 1%. So you know my shit was fucked up. If I have to go through 1%, my child or children have to go through 1% of what I went through in my life, I don't want any. And I said this prayer before I even had sex, or I knew what sex was, but I knew I was a girl and I knew that girls had babies. I think I was about 10 years old. So this was in, I ain't going to say, but I was about 10 years old. And I said it with conviction and I meant it. I said 1%. And I regret that to this day because I just wish I would have said 50%. But then I know myself, if the things that happened to me happened to my child, I would not be able to be there for my child because I would be in jail. Because as soon as my child told me, I would believe it. Because everything that happened to my grandmother, happened to my mother, happened to me, happened to my sisters. All of this stuff is generational if we want to be honest about it. It is generational. Because there's no woman that has been in a situation that her mother hasn't been in. There's no man or young boy that hasn't been in a situation that his father hasn't been in. And there's no young woman, no young man, if he was just raised by his mother, hasn't been put into a situation that his mother may have seen a situation that his mother was in and mimicked it. So we have to wake up. And I just know we won't because we're so brainwashed by that slut bag Cardi B. We're so entrenched into this filthy culture. I watched so many women big up, the trans community, the gays and stuff like that. But then we as black women, we turn around and say, well, there are no good black men. Well, we've been condoning it. And black men say, well, I'm a fail as a man, but maybe I could succeed as a woman. And they are succeeding. They're succeeding to the point where the balance of feminine energy and masculine energy is on a tilt. Meaning the men are more feminine and the women are more masculine. And nobody wants to deal with a society like that. Nobody wants to deal with a society like that. Because like I said, the guy that was behind, if that was me, I've done it before. I've seen fights happen in the hood and I would go and break it up and I would have the whole community come against me. I'm like, how much more fighting do you want to go on until somebody is dead? We're fighting to the death? I seen two lesbians get into a brawl. And one of the lesbians had a child. And the other one was sitting there when I tell you she was beating her. And the girl just kept trying to get away. And every time she tried to get away, the other girl would come up behind her and take a shot, bust her in the back of her head. And the little son is crying and he got his pamper on, his bottle in his hand, and he's just following his mama. She walking in the street, she's walking in the street. to get away from the girl. The baby is following her because the only thing he want is his mama. He wasn't caring about what was going on with the other girl because he couldn't protect her. He was still in Pampers. He could walk, but he was still in Pampers. And this girl is just, and I just got to the point, I'm still regret because I think I let it get too far. So I got to the point, I jumped on her. She gonna talk about get the fuck off me, bitch. I'm like, yo, we can do this. We can truly do this. You beat her up, let her go. She has her baby. Stay the fuck out my business. Nah, bitch, stay the fuck out the business. She got her baby. She's walking in the street. We don't need to do this anymore. You beat her up. You won. You got it. Are you trying to kill her in front of her kid? So everybody that's standing around and watching, nah, let him go. Let him go. But nobody said, get the baby. Nobody said, stop. What type of people are we? What type of animalistic fucking behavior is that? When I see a fight going on, I want to break it up. I don't want it to keep going. I don't want to see somebody get hit by a car, or the baby could easily get hit by a car, or her family could have showed up and jumped on her some more. No, it's done. You did what you had to do. You showed her you're the dominant one. You whooped her ass in front of her kid. Now let's go ahead and me and you can fight, but you're not going to put your hands on her anymore. That's not going to happen. So either you fight me or you leave, or you just leave her alone. Because I'm not going to let you hit her again. I'm not. And I literally had 50 to 60 people telling me to mind my goddamn business. Stay out of it. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in as black people, because we got that mind your own goddamn business mentality. But isn't it funny how we're all in everybody else's business and we know what's going on with everything except for with our children, with our parents, our elders, ourselves. But we know what they're going on with everybody else. We know what's going on with Cardi B and Offset. We know what's going on with this reality star, or what's going on with Nene Leakes, and what's going on with Kenya. We know what's going on with everybody else. We know what's going on with Kaya. We know what's going on with T.S. Madison. But you mean to tell me we don't know that our kids are getting grades below average in school? We don't know that our little girls are being molested by the men that we bring into our houses. Just like with little Malia, her fuck ass mother. And good job to DJ Just Say something his name is. He does the Soto Nation podcast. And he took credit for flagging down her GoFundMe. And damn right, bitch, you left your child with the man that you thought or you knew bust her head open to the fact that she had to have several brain surgeries. And you thought he was sexually molesting her. This is what you did. It's your fault your brother is dead. Your daughter is dead. And even though you had to go to your father's funeral, he's dead. He been dead. Now your daddy dead and your daughter dead, because I know she's not alive. I know she's not alive. She ain't alive. He was carrying your daughter out in that plastic bag and that laundry basket, because she looked like she was a tiny little girl, so she could have fit in there. That's what he was carrying out. And he took her somewhere. And he dumped her. And I've been sending it up to the God of the universe. Don't let that little girl's soul come back. Let her come back and not let him get a moment of peace, a moment of rest. And I know I don't get a lot of views on my channel. But like I said, this is more therapeutic for me. And it's going to be therapeutic for somebody. Somebody's going to get what I'm saying. But what we fail to realize, waking up is not the only thing that we need to do. Because I'm very woke. I'm very cognizant of what's going on in this world. But actually taking the steps to try to change oneself, one's mind, one's everything. It's the hardest thing to do, unfortunately, especially in the America that we live in today. It's not as easy as people want to post online that you can do. It's not. It may be easy for some, but it's not easy for the majority of us. In my opinion, no matter what color you are. Doesn't matter. We just have to get to a place where we can just take care of our youth that's coming up. Stop being so quick to let someone in your life, and I don't care what nobody says, love is a fool's emotion. I don't believe in it. I don't think that it exists. I think it's just an excuse to block out the fuck shit that you know is going on with somebody, because there's no way that when you meet somebody, you either get some type of warning, you get a tingle, you get some type of warning. And we choose to ignore it by saying, oh, I love him, I love her. Until you found out that that person has hurt your child or hurt you, and they don't give a shit. And then you let it go that first time, and then they do it a second time, third time, fourth time, and it goes on and on and on. And next thing you know, you end up on the news for either being dead or going to jail. You're only alone if you want to be alone. You're only lonely if you want to feel lonely. I interact with people every day just on the simple fact that I want to interact with people. Sometimes I don't want to interact with people. I don't want to be fucked with. I don't want you to come to my house. I don't want you to call my phone. I just want to be left alone. But I stopped making that mistake a long time ago, letting people into my life. I don't care if you're my sister. I don't care if you were my twin sister. I don't care if you're my child. If you're bringing me stress, heartache, and pain, I will drop your ass like a bad habit. And that's not a good example. I will drop your ass like a fruit falling from a tree. Because it's hard to drop bad habits. You will be purged from my life. And I won't never think about you again. It'll take me some time. But I'll get to the point where I may see your ass on the street and walk by you like you're a stranger. And I guarantee you're going to say something to me before I say something to you. I may say something depending on how I feel that day. But more than likely, I'll be like, I don't know who you are. And I've done that to family members before. I don't know you. You got me mixed up with somebody else. Oh, it's like that? Yeah, it's like that. You hurt me. You didn't give a fuck. So now I don't give a fuck. I had one of my ex-boyfriends try to come up to me and give me a hug. Oh my God, I have this. You have no. And the way I backed up, and I was at work. I was like, and I went straight off. I was like, hold on, motherfucker. Don't touch me. Don't know. My manager came up to me and said, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I don't know this person, and I don't know why this person is touching me. Sir, you have to leave the store. Oh, it's like, yeah, it's like that. Bye. You need us to call the police? No, I think he understands. And that's where we fall short. We always, something that happened, oh, I forgive. Nah, I'm good. I'm not going to hold on to it. People that, they try to guilt you into forgiving somebody. I'm not going to be guilted into forgiving anybody. And I don't want nobody to be guilted into forgiving me when I do some real fuck shit that can change the course of somebody's life. I'm not talking about, oh, we got into an argument. No, I'm talking about when it gets to a deeper issue. And who's to say I haven't forgiven you? Maybe I didn't tell you that I forgive you. But I don't feel like we have to forgive. But hey, whatever makes your boat float. But I'm not going to let you put a hole in mine so I can sink because I keep forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. No. It makes me a more calmer person where I can just let somebody go. It's been times, like my mom on her birthday, she was telling me some stuff about my nephew, and I called my sister and stuff, and she got mad at me. My mom's birthday was September 19th. I just started talking back to my mama like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Because I said, if that's how you want to be, that's what I said. We have this culture of, you're telling me something that can change the course of my nephew's life. I'm trying to figure out a solution, and you're getting mad at me because I went back and I told my sister something she didn't know about her nephew who's staying in her house that could ultimately affect her as well. You get mad about that? So that lets me know, for one thing, you was just gossiping. And you really don't care about your damn grandson. Nor your daughter. And when I explained that to her, she understood. But we have all these little secrets. This part of the family know what's going on. This other part of the family know what's going on. This part of the family know this part. And everybody looking at each other in each and every direction. Because everybody know your business. You know everybody else's business. No, if I find out something about somebody in my family, I'm going to let them know, look, this is what such and such told me. What the fuck is going on? Can I help? Are you okay? I just don't hold it like it's some type of thing I could throw up at them if they make me upset. No, I'm going to set it right down on the table. Let's look at it. Let's figure it out. If you want me to stay out of it, fine. Tell that motherfucker that you told, don't tell nobody. If I don't want nobody to know nothing, I'm going to say, don't put my business out there. If I find out that you put my business out there, I know where it's coming from. Because me, I'm the type of person, I don't tell everybody my business. I may tell one person my business, and if I know this person know about it, I know who to go back to. I don't tell everybody. So therefore, you can't say, well, oh, they already know. Oh, you didn't already know because I only told one person. So by me telling that one person and you telling me, or what you heard, you only could have heard it from one source. I'm not social media when it comes to my personal life. I don't let everybody know. Depending on what it is, I tell somebody that I can truly, truly trust. And if that person that I thought that I could truly, truly trust, once again, tell somebody else, that it doesn't mean that I don't trust them, but it got back to that person. Now I know I can't trust you. So anything that goes on in my life, you will not be privy to. And the same thing goes for anybody else. But I think I said my piece. This was very therapeutic for me today. Well, God bless everyone. Have a good night.